let's get in. But before we get in, let's talk about who's at the table eating today. We have Lady B.
That's right. Hey, what's up?
We have RW3.
Hold on.
Now, come on, Tracy. What's the new name again?
Hold on. Don't even. Let's keep the audience as like a teaser in suspense. So
right.
tell them you're gonna tell the audience
More to come.
next week.
Keep watching.
Honestly, y'all, because that name she gave us before, we don't even want to.
Tracy, she's still
Lord
trying
have
to come
mercy.
up with
Yeah, because Tracy is so beautiful.
I thought it was
Tracy's beautiful.
It
I
is.
mean, we like that.
I'm being challenged, Lady B. I'm
But
being challenged.
lovely T sounds so lovely.
T sound lovely.
Like Lady B. You know what I'm saying?
Guys,
That's
what do
right.
you think about that name? Do
Yeah.
you think that's a good name?
Right,
lady?
give us
She's still
give us some
trying to find
recommendations
that.
for her name.
I don't mind,
Lovely. What is it again?
T.
Lovely T.
Lovely T.
my
That's what
goodness.
she said.
The
Lovely T.
love,
There's nothing
lovely
wrong with
T.
Lovely T.
The lovely T.
That's what you're
And so
looking
we
at.
also
And
got.
we got the big dog in the back coming to us. He's sitting here and chilling out with us.
That's right.
Anton, listen, guys, listen. This guy right here in Facebook. I mean, these numbers we have. We trying to fill his space. We trying to step into his space. He doing it big. He doing it big down here. But what name do you have? Is it just do you just really use your regular name in terms
My
of
regular name, Anton Daniels.
He just used that. Listen, you see,
right.
look at this guy here. He could be Big Dog. Come on, Big Dog.
AD.
Big Dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but he decided to sit with us on this relationship hour.
Because he might have some insight. Who knows?
We all got some. So now, what is the topic for today?
So the topic is, I'm not his sugar mama. His sugar mother, rather. Wow. Stella got her groove back.
Who's Trey? Who got this good? Trey?
Stella.
I think it's Trey. My bad.
Stella got her groove back. Not
I
Tracy.
didn't hardly hear you. My bad. Go ahead.
Is that just a topic, or do you have something?
So yes, a woman who was 43 years old. Her boyfriend was 26 when they got married. She is now 51 and he is now 31. They have been together for 7 years. They celebrated their first year anniversary. It's both of their first marriage. He doesn't have any children, but she has a 28-year-old daughter who adores him. She feels that she is by no means a sugar mama. She said that she do not support him financially at all. His mother, who is only a few years older than she is, was against them getting married, but she feel like she's gonna lose her, like he's gonna be more attracted to younger women now, and she don't know what should she do. She don't know.
Wow, that's a big one. Yeah. Shout out to all the sugar mamas out there.
She said, who at the table or out there?
Out there.
I don't think we have sugar mamas at the table.
All right.
I mean, I want him to clarify.
Are you a sugar mama?
I know he's referencing.
RW3, are you a sugar mama?
When you hear the word shout
make
out,
that
it's
kind
to
of
the
money.
viewing audience. Shout out to all the sugar mamas out there. Yeah, I mean,
That could be your name. You said so.
No.
Lovely T.
But she do fear-
Sugar Mama.
Yeah, she feared him
That'll
walking
be
away
hot.
one day.
Audience should Lovely T, whatever that prehistoric name she brought up. What about Sugar Mama?
Sugar mama.
No.
That's a certain kind
The
of
Round Table Podcast with Sugar Mama.
Sugar Mama.
That's
No.
a certain
No.
connotation right
No.
there. But
But she do fear him walking away one day because him being so much younger than she is.
So now let's analyze it. Okay, so give me the ages again. 50.
So she's what? She's now 51 and he's 31 now.
31. And when did they meet?
When he was 26.
He was 26 and she
Okay.
was 43.
43. Okay, so now all right, we analyze it. And now there's in this situation where she's, for some reason now, is feeling like he may go outside and begin to talk to other younger women his age.
Yep.
So now, can we say, is that something that she's dealing with and not him? You know what I mean? Is it a low self-esteem type deal? What could that be? What do you think?
What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm just throwing something
Well, I
out
heard
there.
2 separate issues almost because who's calling her a sugar mama? Like you said, who?
Well, I just threw
Lady
that
B.
title out there. I threw that
Yeah,
title
sugar
out
mama.
there.
Oh, okay.
Make it a little
Mama.
bit more
But she's proclaiming, she's saying like, I am not taking care of him. So mother had an issue. So is the family, the immediate family, she feeling pressure from these other people because they're making comments about the age difference? Like, who has this problem?
Well, maybe she's feeling like that. As women get older, some women, she can feel, like.
And then was she evenly yoked or matched. Because because that really should be what leads or keeps them together.
Right.
Not so much age. I think it's difficult when there's such an age gap for you to.
Why?
Well, let's do this.
You guys
Let's pull back for a minute. I think let's go this way. Is it okay, or what do you think about the age gap? Should older women date younger men? What do you think about that? Just in general, what do we think about that? Should they think? Is it okay for older women, seasoned women to date
Because like
younger
Keisha
men?
and Keisha Cole, she's dating like a young guy.
He's really young too. But what do we think about that?
What do you guys think about that?
I'm not a fan of it at all.
Okay.
At all. And I think the question that people are not asking is, what's the foundation behind why they got together in the first place, right?
Right.
Because that factors into it. Was it something that prompted them to be together then? That dynamic is changed, and that's why she's self-conscious, and that's why it's so important that it initially be on the same page. I'm not a fan of that age gap simply because I think that people need to be friends first before they ever start dating in the first place.
So now, could it be that situation where you know sometimes when I'm using terminology in the hood, okay, you're in the hood, you driving, boom, the car, you got the sounds up, and boom, then you see you call an old girl, you see old girl over there coming out the store, you whip it, you pull up, because you got some guys who be like, I like older women, younger guys. I'm tired of dealing with these young girls. And he see her, he say, hey, bump the horn. And she looking at him, he looking, hey girl, what's up? I mean, what was the situation? I going back on what Anton said, is it, does that matter? Does it matter the situation, how it's set up in terms of them or where they'll be today? What do you think about that?
No. Age ain't nothing but a number.
That's the biggest lie I ever told you.
Oh my goodness.
I said that was
Listen.
the biggest lie. I said that was the biggest lie.
And this is my thing. First, I want somebody to explain to me.
Wow.
Now, I'll take it from this perspective that age, I like to use the term more than likely. That's my term. So more than likely, if someone is 20 years older than someone else, it sounds like you're all saying 100% that age will preclude them or prevent them from having a healthy marital relationship. Because my thing is, love knows no limits, and if people love each other truly, and you use the term what, equally yoked? That term you use, my sister. So if you use that term, equally yoked, or what have you, and they love each other,
that's dangerous.
I mean, age has
That's
less.
dangerous. That get dangerous.
Age has less than affection.
Love is the wrong word.
Yeah,
to
that's a
use.
long word.
Hold on.
Yes, that. Because
wrong word to
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you love no wife?
Well, but that's a different perspective.
I'm just asking you though.
I do.
Well, I know you do.
But I'm saying, when you talk about love, depending on the age, and then the separate, if I'm 57 and if I was in that situation, if I'm 57 and he's how old now? He's in his
31
he's
or
30 something. Let's even go younger. What if she was in her 20s and he was in his 40s? I'm saying he and she. In some situations, how do you know what love is? Sometimes we can get, because it depends on our situation, where if the woman is not astute, if she's not financially established, or if there's still some roads she's still haven't traveled down, and here I'm a very experienced man. I know how to take care of myself. I even know how to manipulate at a certain age. So is it love that she's falling for, or is it the fact that I can take care of the need,
right?
And that need becomes a physical lust, a mental. It could be mental
But
and physical.
that varies from, that's the thing. So we're making. I want to get away from generalities, and I want to put things in context from person to person.
You
Like,
can't.
I can't. No, I can't be general.
How?
No,
How?
because my only argument developmentally would be generally the brain is about 25 years old.
It stops developing at 25.
25. So
26,
my concern would be
25.
after 25, anything before that, I would be concerned. Someone the age because you're still developing. But at that point, you know, life experiences would determine, you know, how it's not going to be me, but those two people interact in terms of how they're going to forge and move forward in a relationship. I don't necessarily say automatically because you're 26 and this person is 46 that it wouldn't work. And I don't think, and just like Tone said, well, you know, guys, in terms of, no, I know a lot of men, and you probably too, you met a lot of men that are at the quote unquote maturation age. That's not taking care of themselves. That's not taking care of business. So I don't, and generally because you're at a certain age, I don't always correlate your age with someone who's mature and is taking care of business.
Well,
I do in context, person by person.
I'm talking about more or less. Let's take this situation. I'm talking about experience. What
type of experience, Tom?
Well, I'm about to tell you. The experience of life, which is the biggest experience. Life, doing life,
100%.
where I know more about me and I know how to manipulate a situation because of what I've been in. In other words, what I'm saying is, I ain't gonna throw names out there. I can't. I wish I could. I know someone who used to say, you know, if I get a divorce, I'm gonna go grab me one of these 18-year-old girls, and I'm gonna run game on her. All I want to do is just to cook, and I'm gonna come back. You already know what's gonna happen to that. I'm gonna hit that. Let's just speak that language, and hey, I got her in the house. But come on. Is the manipulation there where all I need to do is flash a couple of dollars in your face because at 18 you pretty much ain't
impressed.
got you
You're
throw that dollar in your
dinner.
face.
Well, I agree with that.
And
with that age.
But look, I throw the money in your face.
Okay.
I take you out, and let's go there. I'm an older guy, so maybe I'm not saying this is always true. Sexually more experienced than you are, and making you feel some way that you've never felt before, either woman or man, whatever. So now there's a lot of things involved in it. It's a lot of deception in terms of, is this really love or is it something else? You get what I mean? So what I'm saying is this. I think that there's a lot of advantages to being older than to someone that's younger to get into a relationship unless they really is ready. And I don't know if you really are, depending on the age. Anything 25, 24, like we mentioned 24, or anything in that age, I think that you are still... You're not developed
inexperienced
in this area.
That's true.
But going back, so we won't miss
In general.
into the lady situation.
Going back to
I think that she understands in her mind that she's getting to a certain age where she might feel like I'm not as desirable.
Her marketplace value is down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's that term?
Marketplace value.
And see, some men. Why would you date someone that's a lot younger than you? Unless you
like Keisha Cole. So why do you think she's dating that guy that's way younger than her?
What's your question? So
Validation. I mean, you know, women go through a midlife crisis just like men do. So to be wanted and desired by a younger man.
But at the same time, she's in the industry, and he's
not in the industry.
No, yes, he is. He's an upcoming
he's a
rapper. He's an upcoming rapper in the industry, and that right there is about status. Sometimes we can look at situations and see what can we gain out of this, and I think to me,
but then that's superficial.
But he don't really
that's
have
not
a platform like that though.
He's building one.
Everything is superficial. The very premise by which we meet is based off of being superficial.
Right, but okay, in the beginning, but hopefully you're striving for a deeper connection with that person.
That's not. See, that's where men and women different.
Okay,
we think different.
Okay,
right? Because and the reason why she's having issues again is because her marketplace value is going down. Right. So the idea is that it's hypergamy, and what that means is that women look for the best suitor, right? It's not entirely based off of love, and that's why I don't like even using that word as it relates to relationships, because love is such a fickle word. I've seen people say I love you and do them dirty all day long. Love is not the thing that keeps you together. Love is the excuse that people use in order to continue to do what they want to do.
Oh, that's deep.
Wow.
That's a deep one. And in this situation, the older ladies being 50,
51.
And, you know, she's dealing with some issues. She's dealing with some challenges. He's this young guy. He's looking at these young girls that's in his age range. Maybe now she may have him in a mental state in terms of knowing that this woman is mature enough, you know, to deal with me. But I see these young girls out here my age, you know, their bodies
My
develop.
girlfriend 80 and I'm good.
What?
My girlfriend 80 right now. I'm straight, bro.
Well, I mean, but it's each to his own. I mean, you know, and that,
You're an anomaly.
but
Oh my goodness.
Right. He waiting on that.
different
He trying
range.
to be
But that's a
a
different range.
Anna Nicole male.
Oh my goodness.
I guess what I'm saying is, I think
my
that
goodness.
this lady, I think that she's looking at, these are some of the things that have the effects of dealing with a young person. Like you know, now she's, like he says, I guess you say what, losing the value or the
Well,
property
think
value.
about it like this, right? The dynamic between men and women as it relates to society differs so much. So, for example, a woman in most scenarios, obviously I'm never speaking in like to be definitive, but in most scenarios, a woman's value from a physical perspective, and men take physical more seriously than women in most situations, a woman's physical value is never higher than when she's about between 25 and 30. That's probably where she's gonna be at her top as it relates to where her looks are, so on and so forth. A man's value continues to go up based off of a lot of other factors beyond looks. It's how much money you make, how successful you are, how mature you become, how much you take care of business, how much you can continue to shape the narrative of how you can empower her to be greater or a better version of herself. There's a lot of other factors that contributes to the value of a man that goes beyond age and look and value. And obviously, like I said, I'm speaking in generalities. Right. So it's not everybody, because I know
Let's think
some
about that,
women
Suga
look
Momma.
phenomenal at 50. But in a general sense, in a general sense, it's a reason why you said, your friend said, I'm gonna go get that younger girl.
That's right.
Right? I'm gonna trade in my 40 for two 20s.
Right. That's right. You take that.
That's right. That's right.
You take
That's the
that 20
mindset.
when you got this 80.
Well, let me ask you this: can it be that when men look at younger women, it's more about status, as with women, when they
It's
look
ego.
at young
It's
men,
100% ego.
yeah, it's a status. But with women, is more about molding, because they want to mold this man. They still get to have this strong sex, but at the same time, I can mold him into what I want him to be. Yeah, I'm talking about the mindset, because they know how some men is, so I can gain more control over this individual, meaning this man. What do you think
I
about
think
that?
you're speaking about men. I think a lot of men who date younger women want to mold her. They want to be in the role of educator. You know, let me teach
Father.
you.
And not
father
status.
Figure.
You don't think
right.
it's a status where I
think
got
you're
this
right.
young thing on my, and I'm driving, and I'm putting the right outfits on her. You're making sure she, looking good, because if she look good, that makes me look good. So when I'm stepping out, oh man, look at what you got.
But it
This
don't cost as much.
Yeah,
Right. You could get her, right. I always say, you can get her hot and ready, and
right.
you know what I'm saying?
The status.
I got bills.
Right,
You know
that's
what I'm
right.
saying? You come
Yeah.
to the show, so it's a little different. It's a little different.
But then you get married. So
You
now,
got him. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay, I'm going to go on the record and say this. I don't think that. I think the certain age matters. I don't.
agree.
If you're, come on, 10 years and all that. I mean,
You can't even comfortably tell a joke
Yep.
if the person isn't.
You're 100% right.
They can't even get your reference if you're not even in the same kind of cohort,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean. Like you
Yeah.
talking about, certain song come on, you like, oh, that's I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody from the
Yeah.
70s, and they're totally like, who? Or they're listening to trap music, and
Right.
you're like, what is that? I mean, and I know that's like the little things, but the little things add up, and it just.
What do they add up to?
Divorce.
Not having a connection, like
divorce,
growing apart from each other,
Insecurity,
like
That's right.
Insecurity.
like the situation as described. Not
That's right.
having questions of whether or not she's valuable enough to continue to be with him.
Yeah.
When that problem or that scenario is null and void when you don't have that large of an age yet.
I don't. The term "grow apart." I don't even think. I mean, people just. I don't think that's people just grow apart. I mean, I think.
Oh, that happens.
So,
No, hold on.
Be
I don't.
specific,
What
though.
I mean by when growing apart. I mean, I think that's a purposeful act that's happening between two
everybody
people.
grow apart. I
You
get
know,
that. That's
so
right. Right.
if we're growing apart, it's because either our lack of effective communication. That's what's going on. For example, it was this couple. I started working with, and the young lady said she had. I think when she first met the guy, she was saying how she had, she wasn't spending a lot of time with her friends, and she poured all her energy into him. Mm-hmm. He had been accustomed to all that attention and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then what happened was, as I guess you move into that stage of being comfortable or sometimes complacency, she wanted to, this is kind of getting stale. So I want to kind of start hanging with my friends. All the stuff I did before you, where I just totally shut them out, I want to begin to start doing them things again. So he started feeling as though, we're growing apart or we're going to different directions. And, when I talked to him, I said, well, having the expectation that people are not going to grow or evolve is unrealistic. So the point is, you have to communicate so you can grow together.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, it's not I'm just growing apart. I mean, it's a process. It's something that happens. Like you're not in a relationship or we just grow apart.
No,
I mean,
so I guess my thing is that but you're talking about there's not an age difference between you talking about just two married people or dating people on the average, right? We're not specifically talking about.
Well, I just responded to when Tracy said growing apart.
Okay, but let's go to this area. So, what do you think? Do you think it's fine for, let's say, a 24-year-old, and
like Keisha Cole, she's 38.
Yeah,
he's 8. I think he's 24, 23 or 24.
Do you think it's fine to do that? What do you think?
What do you think about that?
Do you think it's cool? I mean, is it or not?
I'm cool.
Okay, so you think it's cool. So now, what do you think the reason? Why would someone?
That's a bad scenario, though.
But okay, so draw one.
Very
Is
bad scenario.
okay. So let me. But this is what I'm trying to get around to asking. Why do you think it's okay, or what is the reason that someone like I'm 48 that I would, if I wasn't married, that I would want to date someone that's 21? What would be the reason? Why do men date that young? What is the reason? I guess that's what I'm trying to get around.
It's the exact same reason why men cheat. It's all ego. It's ego and it's validation.
Yeah, I think it's status.
I need to validate that I'm still cool.
Right.
I need to validate that I
think
still
it's
have
that.
it.
I
need to validate.
It has to be.
Seems complex. This is
ego.
deep.
But how?
No,
but think about.
ego.
Yeah, but why? But what I'm trying to get around is that what will be the reason? What will be your reason? Like if I wasn't married, and I'm 48, and I had no kids, and I met someone that's 21. What could that 21-year-old do mentally for me at 21 and 48? What do she have to give me?
21 is because mine is that my
24.
developmental
24.
brain.
Okay.
It don't matter.
So for me, with that being said, because I see you. Hey,
let's jump up higher. Let's say 26.
Okay.
If I'm almost 50,
okay,
what could this 26-year-old? What does she have to give me mentally?
I think it's just fun. I think if you're in a position in your life where you want to have fun, maybe you got out of a bad divorce, maybe you hitting that midlife crisis, and you just want to have fun. Then you go and
with the young,
and you ask specifically
That's
like us. So for myself, fun. That's it.
But here's the key though. It's a difference between having fun and getting married.
Right. I totally agree.
That's right.
So qualifying what it is that you said, are you going into it dating looking for a wife, or are you dating to just have a good time?
To have a good time.
Right.
Because it's a difference
gotta be.
between the two.
But if we going off what you said though, now, and you made a point, you mentioned the importance of like friendship, right? I believe with that perspective, if two people are going into it in friendship, taking time to get to know each other and growing that friendship, I think anything is possible potentially down the road.
Yeah,
if we're going in with that perspective.
Right.
Going in, so you can have an age difference, but like you say, oh, you listen to that, you listen to that. But at the same time, just it's the same thing I would have to kind of learn about the person, quote unquote, that's close to my age. There are still things in our friendship that I'm going to have to, I guess, learn about her. She'll have to learn about me. Yeah. Some things I don't like, I'm gonna have to deal with, and things that she don't like about me, she's gonna have to become accustomed to. You have to make some compromises and sacrifices in that developmental process in our friendship. If, like you said, now, do I think if they have that initial connection, because the person is longer, may it take a little bit more time to develop that connection, that friendship, and getting to know each other?
But what if it don't? But what if that person
just like anybody else? My thing is not the age.
What if they haven't grown up yet? They still in that mindset where they still want to do childish
things. That's what I'm saying, though, Tom. My response to that, my experience has taught me
it's not about
that's
the numbers.
Everybody. Like, I know people my age haven't grown up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're not talking about older people. We're talking about younger people who we know hasn't grown up.
But you don't.
Yes, it is.
No, I just said 26. How do you know?
The mental state of a 26-year-old
is different
compared to someone that's in their 50 is a lot more experienced in life in general, who can manipulate situations due to experience, whether it's sexual, whether it's financial.
So let me make this argument. Go ahead.
It's not going to be the age. It's going to be the experience. So my thing is, if I'm coming into, depending on what I'm coming into the relationship for, I know how to deal with that relationship based on my experience, me being an older gentleman. You get what I mean? Yep. So you've been a younger person, and a lot of times you got some men who are even more confident that they know that they can work the relationship. But this is the thing that they fail to see, that this person is still naive. So what does that mean? They still can fall off and meet that old guy again around the corner, hang out with their old friends, and you know, probably even start dating other guys on the side and running this living that party life. If you didn't know what type of person they were, they still want to hang out with their girlfriends. And you may say, no, I don't want that. Why? Because my maturity level is older, so I'm a sit-in guy. I don't want to go to the rap concerts. I want to go and sit down and relax, Netflix. So there's a lot of different variations. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different levels to this thing where it's not just based on age, it's based on the maturity levels of the relationship.
So this is why that makes sense.
What doesn't make sense?
That whole concept. All of those things you just said, Tom. None of it made sense. Let me finish. I'm going to tell you why. None of it made sense. And this is why. I'm going to give you an example.
Then I'm going to give you
the producer. I mean, we're going to say Jazzy. Let's say she's under 30, right?
That's right.
Okay. Now, she's X amount of years younger than me, right? I'm just going to go from an occupational standpoint. Though she's younger, like I have... say 15 to 20 years of lived experience.
Okay, we got some comments.
And mental health and psychology, right? Right? Lived life experience. She has maybe, let's say, 5 years of media experience, right? So just because I've had lived experiences, she's younger, but she has more experience in a particular area because she can run circles around me in media. So just because I'm older, so what my point is, just because there's an age,
you can learn that.
Hold on, there's an age difference. Doesn't mean that my lived experiences are comparable to yours just because you're younger. So what experiences are we talking about? Life experiences in general, but life is huge. Because I could have been, because I know people, ladies who had guys that's been older. I know a couple guys that's just been. They got married when they was young, and they've been with one woman, and that life experience been with that one person. So what I'm saying is, not just life experience. We talking about specific experiences when it comes to the age. So I just don't just say because you're older, because your life experiences may not be.
Well, it's not that you're older. It's the number of years in the gap.
Okay, I have a comment, y'all. Real quick, let me just read this. What's her name? Tanisha says there are men 30 years old who are more mature than some of these men who are 40 plus.
Say it again, Tanisha.
That's right.
Repeat that
Tanisha
again.
said there are some
That's
men
right.
30 years old
That's right.
who are more
We-
mature than some of those
we
men
get
who
that.
are 40 plus.
We get that. We're not. Well, she said 30. She didn't say 20 and 19. She said 30. I can understand the 30. I'm talking about the 20-year. I'm talking about the 20.
The
20
question becomes, why would a 30-year-old guy that's at the top of his game want a 50-year-old woman?
Yeah, that's true too.
No, I mean, if we just gonna be 100% real, if we're gonna be 100% real, right? Because
Okay.
she's evaluating it from the perspective of, I want a 30-year-old.
That's right.
Or I'm not saying she want a 30-year-old, but
That's right.
evaluate it from the perspective of, why does a 30-year-old want you?
That's right.
Because the basis or the crux of a relationship is understanding. Even the Bible says, in everything you do, get understanding.
That's right.
You don't understand what his goal and his objective is, subconsciously or consciously, because he don't even really know what he wants sometimes,
So
right?
That's good.
You don't know what the objective is, so I have to ask myself the question and be honest with myself, like, what do I have that he would want from me?
That's right. But let me answer it before you say it. So why Ryan on what he just said, man, that's good. What will be the reason that let's just change it up. So we said that it doesn't matter about the maturity levels or experience and the age and the like.
I
that.
say it matters.
So, but what I'm saying is, why at 50? This ain't 51. If I was a man, why would I want someone that young? What would be my reason? What would be, because I know you probably, and I don't know your status of income, so I can't say that. But let's just draw a scenario. What if she don't make as much as I do? You know what I mean? What if, she's young? What would be my reason to want to grow with this young lady? I'm just trying to find out what is the factors in it, because if how can we grow? I'm just trying to, it's so complex to me. So I need to know. And this is the first time that I'm really speechless. I'm really,
Right, you asked me a complex question. I think it's simple, because I want you.
But no.
I want you.
It's
In
never
what
that-
way?
it's never that
What's the
simple.
comment?
In what
It's
way?
never that simple.
Okay.
I don't think it's that simple.
Never that
I don't
simple.
think it's that
All
simple.
right, so we have another comment. There are some older people who are insecure in all their ways, who are single and married, who go after younger partners for validation and control.
I think that.
Yeah,
and I said the
validation
same
and
thing.
control.
I said
Right.
Now, who said that?
Yeah.
I said that.
Yep. We both.
Callie.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Callie.
What would be the
women,
reason?
because again, so when I was a lot younger and older men approached me, again, it was about let me reveal this world to you. Let me
That's right.
expose you to lobster and let
that's
me
the biggest
expose
thing.
you to this and
Did they do it?
let me
Right.
teach you. Yeah, they did. But
Ooh,
again,
what they teach you? What they teach you?
But let's stick it to the issue.
The point
Right.
is that once I became more mature,
You start teaching younger guys?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, but but that role was no longer needed. It no longer fulfilled.
Right.
It was no longer
Where
purposeful
the
for
growth
me.
is. That's where the
So
growth
let me
comes
ask you this:
Yeah.
why would a younger woman want an older guy? What do you think? What if she?
I got another comment.
Just go ahead.
I think that women like older men when they're secure in their career
I think
and
so,
life,
too.
and may
100%
not
right.
want
Yeah.
chicken or
That's right.
vice versa.
I believe that.
Who said that?
100% correct.
That's right.
Crystal.
That's
Thank
right.
you, Crystal. We appreciate your
that's-
comment.
So it's something that they're gaining. It's not that because I just want you. It's you're gaining something. Maybe we just said. They
But
just
in
explained what it
everything
is.
about it, there's no relationship. I don't
Why
care
would you
what.
even be
Hold on,
looking at a
Tom.
girl
What I'm
that
saying.
young?
No,
Why would you
we're
even look at her
making.
that young?
We're taking life statements and just applying them as though they're in isolation to this. For example, every relationship, there's a give and take, and everybody wants something from it. No matter what the age,
Right.
business, work, no matter. There's
no, that's not true. That's not true.
No. You get in a relationship with people because there's something that you want out of that relationship.
You
You can
mean
be my
physical
age
things
or
or
younger,
what?
whatever, Tone. There, anytime you're in a relationship, business, personal, or otherwise, there's something that we want both in that relationship.
so if
and you
I-
just put that on age.
Okay, but then I'm about to ride the age again. So if I'm 50 and I'm riding down the street and I go into the liquor store and I see this girl and she got to be about 24. This just keep it real. There's some guys that date younger than that. You just don't know. And some of them be 20, 18, 19. And I see her. And I'm not going to say, oh, my God, I just love your mind. You know, your mind is just so perfect. I think we can grow together.
Listen, hold on, wait. In real life, right? I'm 37, right? I know that there is nothing a 20-year-old can offer me outside of her body.
Wow. And that's right.
There is
And that's where I'm about to go.
And I agree with you on that.
But it's always that.
But okay, so
agree with you
taking
on that.
that into consideration, right? What's my interest in her? It's not her mind. I don't need her insight. Like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the purpose that she's serving, if we being 100% real, is physical.
Yeah.
That's it.
Has to be.
Nothing more.
Yeah. It don't matter how you explain it. It's still going to be a sexual attraction. And that's...
To any woman we're interested in.
But I'm saying that's about it.
Well, but Toya said something different. What Toya said, she has life experience that he may be able to gain from, and most likely have been through some things to guide him in and through.
So Toya, that's a very good comment. We've been trying to get them to understand.
Did she say her age?
No.
Okay,
But she's younger,
The
clearly.
reason why it matters.
And she letting y'all two brothers know.
No,
The reason
she
why it matters how
said
old she
dating a
is.
younger guy.
Well, she's probably talking about the 26, the
But no,
51-year-old,
Let's put it in
and the.
perspective. The reason why it matters how old she is because it don't matter what she think about herself.
Right.
It matters about what I think about her as a potential mate. Like, she may think she all that, and I'm just looking at her like, oh, you just a little silly little kid.
Right.
I mean, realistically, you think you got like some game to offer me, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Come here, get in that passenger seat real quick. Yeah, you got so much game, girl.
That's
Like, I don't care nothing about what you're talking about.
And that's going to be realistic.
Well, Tone, is it about the age or is it about the age gap?
Well, this is my thing. I think both of them make. I think both make the difference.
It's about that's a good point.
Hold on. She asked me. What I'm asking, I think that is no. I'm serious.
Yes.
I'm saying I think it's both. I think that the age and the age gap, however you want to word it, I think that the level of experience is still there. Now, okay.
We got another comment,
yeah.
yeah.
Before you read the
Okay, go ahead.
The age gap matters less the older you get, though.
Yeah, it does.
I agree with that.
If you 70 and you date
My man.
60,
I agree.
I like that.
But this is what I want to say.
less.
You say it does, but until you get into the relationship and get the mind games. When you experience the mind, see, you can't tell me nothing if you ain't experienced it.
Yeah, you're right.
I know young people are young. I know people right now who in them streets, and I know guys that date young girls.
Yeah.
You saying it, but if you haven't experienced it, I know guys that tell me or would tell me about the mind games of that chick or that dude. You see what I mean? Because of their age.
He's a weak beta male.
Yeah, that's right. But what I'm saying, the youth, you may not be ready to what they trying to deal to you. It may seem cool in the beginning of the relationship until you get in that relationship.
But Billy
she,
says,
hold on, let me say about that. Until she say, hey, I want to hang out with my girls. And if you a controlling guy, you gonna say, I don't want you to go over there. So you know what men do? They try to be controlling over the relationship, right? And isolate the young lady so she can't have fun. Now, I'm gonna go on and say what I used to work for. I used to, and I'm gonna throw it out there, I used to work for the health department, Healthy Baby. And I used to transport young women all day long. So I used to see it from a personal level. So now, I remember a young lady, and I ain't never gonna say her name, the girl couldn't read. This girl was 16 years old. The guy was upstairs having sex with her. She was 21. He was running her life. And I can tell you many stories that was like that, where these young guys were taking advantage of these young girls. It wasn't about, I want to grow with you. It was about sexual activity, and they took advantage of it. Go ahead.
Okay, so Billy, she said, I believe men date younger women because older women have more emotional baggage. But why would an older man date a younger woman if they don't want more children or to be married, have more children?
See, that's a different dynamic when you talk about marriage.
So let me throw this out here. Thanks, Billy, for your comment. Now, like Tone mentioned, now I'm asking my ladies, and I'm about to go off the grid to try to help me understand what he's saying. Maybe y'all can help me.
Yeah.
So Tone said
Right.
that if you haven't experienced anything, how can you?
I said if you haven't been in that relationship,
you can't teach me. You said if you haven't. What if you haven't? You can't tell me nothing. You mentioned something about somebody.
Said you can't tell me anything if you haven't experienced older and younger relationship. In other words, if you haven't been in a relationship like this, if you was older and the girl was younger, to know if this relationship is going to work. But from your experience, to say that this young girl, we didn't have anything. We had some things in common, and it probably was whatever it is. I can't draw what it is, but at the same time, she was or he was. They wanted to live their life because they were still young. I've lived my life. So, in other words, that man or that woman can tell you their personal experiences about the relationship. So we're all jumping in and we're saying whether it could work or not. You get what I mean? But we don't know. I know people. I can't. Some things I wish I could say. I just can't say. But whatever. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying is
somebody said, who cares as long as they happy?
No.
Who said that? What's that name? Who said that?
We're having this conversation.
Thank you, Gwen.
We're having
as long
this
as you happy,
because
that's what I'm talking
in the
about.
article, the lady is obviously not happy.
That's right.
But we went different directions. I'm saying, but I agree with Gwen.
That's foolish.
As long as you happy,
you can't ever say as long as you happy.
Who can't say that?
Nobody can say.
I can say that for me. Okay. You can't say that for nobody else. Okay. If they say they're happy, who are we to say that they're not?
She talking about age ain't but number.
Until you get into the relationship.
The very person that wrote that song is under investigation.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
So I can have sex with a dog as long as I'm happy.
No, you're right.
Bestiality.
Right. That's what they're coming out. As long as I'm happy. I can have sex with a little kid as long as I'm happy. I mean, that's what happiness is. No, I'm going on what you said. No, I'm going on what you said.
I don't know what Tone talking about.
I'm going on what you said.
In the context of an older relationship. In the relationship, you done went to animals and you went to pedophilia.
No, you're right, Tone.
No, Tone ain't right.
Tone is right.
You said
what he's basically saying is that
in the context of our discussing the relationship, you're talking about animals. That's what we talking about.
No. I got
that's
a scenario.
That's what people doing today.
No.
That's what they doing today.
I
got a scenario.
People doing it today.
You got kids.
Doing it today.
Did you say a dog?
Do you got kids?
Oh yeah, we got kids. Yeah, he has kids.
A daughter or
both.
Okay, so you got how old is your? If you don't mind me asking, how old is your daughter?
27 and 9.
Okay, so your daughter, you would be cool with her dating a 60-year-old man.
As long as
my daughter?
Yeah. The very idea.
You took too long to say something.
No, I'm a hypocrite.
You took too long to say something.
No, I'm a hypocrite.
The very idea.
I'm a hypocrite.
Okay.
Why?
No, she
right.
But why?
No, I'm a hypocrite.
Why?
Because let me.
He's established.
What I'm gonna say is,
just proved
ultimately, this is the thing.
Okay.
If I meet him, let me back up.
I need to turn your mic off.
If I meet him and she truly wants to be happy with him, oh well. I can't live her life for her.
What you're saying is that you have to accept it because you don't have a choice because she grown.
Right.
I'm asking you, would you be happy with the idea that she's dating a 60-year-old
If she's happy, yes.
No, I don't believe. The very idea that you had to pause.
Yeah, you paused.
I didn't think about it.
No, I didn't think about it.
I didn't think about the question, Tom. We on tape. Hold on. This is in the annals of history forever. So if you say something, it's going to be on tape.
That's true.
So I want to make sure people rewind it.
Okay.
Y'all know how it is in politics. They pulling people's tape back from 20 years ago.
My whole life philosophy is that I want to be the man that I want my daughter to marry.
That's right.
That's my life philosophy.
I got a bullet for you. You come over my house, ask for my daughter.
It's a
Tom,
I got
one podcast you told me they can choose who they want. Tom,
I ain't never
another.
told you that. I ain't never.
You told me your daughters.
I ain't never told you about. I don't care how old they are.
No, you didn't say that, but you said in terms of them and their relationships, you said you wouldn't be in it, and you said they could.
That's different. We talking about ages specifically. I'm not talking about. I said,
what you gonna do?
I said in a relationship.
What would you do?
I'm a strong arm in that relationship. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna put understanding. And from my understanding into her mind, and I'm gonna stay there real strong. I remember this one guy said that he was Jewish, and he said that he wanted his daughter to date only Jewish women. I mean, men. You know what I mean? And my man said, well, what if she went to go date someone that was Palestinian.
Right.
He said that, well, you know how that is. You already know how that go.
Right.
But he said what he would do is he wouldn't want it, but if that's what she wanted to do. But he said what he would do is, though, he would have strong conversation with him all the time to hopefully convert him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Hopefully convert him over.
I like he said strong conversation.
Yeah, he would have some real good conversation. So, not to get off the topic, but I guess what I'm saying is
got
that
a lot of comments, y'all.
I don't believe. I just don't believe. I don't believe that those relationships, and it is weird. It's exceptions. I get it. And now I'm gonna say this. Now I'm gonna be a little. I'm gonna jump out there. I think that a man has more to give than a younger. I think it's kind of punkish. I think it's kind of punkish if a young guy date an older woman. I think it's kind of punkish. I think that and back in the day, older men did date younger women in terms of the child, in terms of, because it's taught throughout history that you have the baby for the man. You know what I mean? Yeah, historically, and that's been, you check your history, so that's fact. Yep. So I get that part where even my mother, I think she said when she married my father, I forget the age, but it was in that day they was dating real young. You know what I mean? Did mine come out?
I don't know. It might be mine.
This may be let's see. Go ahead, y'all. Finish talking.
What's that comment? You said you had another one.
Well, I can't talk right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, so in my family, we have a situation where the husband is younger than the wife.
Yep. By how much though? Just to add context.
Maybe 6 years.
Okay.
Maybe 6 years.
Right.
But they met like well into grownhood, well into 40 and up.
Right.
And they're successfully married. So I'm not saying that there can't be an age gap. But it really does depend on, I think, both the gap itself, how many years you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're talking 15 plus years, it is very hard for me to understand what in the world do y'all have in common.
But I like what you said.
What do you have in common?
The older you said, the older it makes, because a woman 50 and a man 65, that looks different, doesn't it? Like when you said the older, I like that statement.
The older you are, the less the age gap.
Right.
I like that.
Because you both have lived experiences, right, that you can bring to the table.
If you make it that long.
That's true.
If you make it that long in a relationship. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's fine, and it'll work itself out.
I'm back.
I get what you're saying. It'll work itself out. But come on now.
Let's get some of my people in.
Back in the day, that used to work. But in this society today, I don't know so much. But go ahead.
Okay, so we got one. Some men can find an older woman and will get his life together and will love her to the moon and back. And some older women will date a younger man and find the fountain of youth. I have experience in both, but I'm married now.
Can she say the first part?
Who was that again?
She says that some men can find an older woman and will get his life together and will love her to the moon and back. And some older women will date a younger man and find the fountain of youth.
And who was that from? What's her name?
Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. We appreciate it.
I have a very big problem with that very first statement. I don't feel like anybody should be getting my life together.
That's right. That's right. That's why I said it's punkish. That's why I think that was punkish. That's why I made that statement that a woman shouldn't be trying to get a woman shouldn't be trying to get a man's life together.
Or daddy.
Yeah,
he should be getting his own life together.
Get his life together where he can support the man. I know this is gonna get confrontational. From my perspective, the man is the head of the house, and I'm not saying that in a barbaric type way. I'm saying it in a way of being able to guide and lead the family. Go ahead.
So the man is the head of the household, and I'm gonna use myself as an example because when it comes down to it, the major responsibilities and the health of our household falls on my shoulders.
Right.
It don't matter if she lose her job.
Right.
Don't matter whatever it is. It comes back on me to make sure that my household is in order and secure.
Right.
as the head of that household.
That's
so
right.
it has nothing to do with a chauvinistic perspective.
No, not at all.
It has everything to do with more power comes more responsibility.
Right.
It's like being the CEO of a company. When it comes down to it, nobody's gonna blame the line workers for making a car wrong. They're gonna look at the CEO and say, hey, you're responsible for all of this. Why you ain't got your house in
And that's
order?
right. And in saying that, I'm saying I'm not saying that there's no men out there who can marry an older woman and have their stuff in order.
Right.
It's very few in between though. I mean, a lot of times. Yeah, I remember back in the day. My history go back far. I remember I was working.
Don't act like he 100.
I remember where I worked at. I worked at it was Warren Plant. It was Chrysler. I remember I was in there, and it was a lot. I don't want to put the women out there. It was a lot of women out there was going after these young guys. And I remember a guy. He was about 18, and he liked this woman. She was I think she was in her 40s, and he was really vibing off her. He was feeling her, and my mind was like, now, what can you? Why would you wanna? I was just I was all over the world. I'm like, oh my God, like what do you see? You got your whole life ahead of you, and you want to jump into a relationship with this woman in her 40s. I mean, she was an attractive lady. She was younger for her age and everything, but he still was a young dude. I'm like, you got a Chrysler check. You just went out and bought you one of them. I forgot that car. You talking about what you? I didn't get it. I was complex in that.
So do you think he was just trying to go to bed with her?
Maybe so.
People want who they want.
But no, I'm saying
that's not a big feat though. Guys are asleep with what's available for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about all guys.
Like Jones said, a dog, they'll sleep with a dog too.
You see, I've said nothing to come.
I mean, but am I off though? Like, guys, it's important for women to be awesome. And the reason why it's important for y'all to be awesome is because we'll do whatever you allow us to do from a limit perspective, right? Like, we're only gonna hold, and I'm not talking about all of us, but the majority of guys are gonna hold themselves to the standards by which the women make for them. So if God, it's a reason why prostitution is the oldest business in the world, is because guys are gonna do whatever is available in a general perspective. But when you have a standard, and I think this is a whole nother conversation, but when you start having standards, you start looking at things differently. And I have to admit I'm skewed because I'm a spiritual guy. So I look at being equally yoked, right?
That's right.
I look at, what is it that we have in common? How can we empower each? I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in being 100-100, and then we gon' empower each other to be the best version of ourselves. You don't have to come in here and get fixed. You need to get fixed and then come in here, and then we gonna be awesome. So it's a different
I agree
dynamic
100% with
as
that.
to how I see relationships, because I think that everybody is doing it wrong, and I think that I'm right simply because the statistics show that divorce is on the rise and people are preferring not to be in relationships because they're not going into it.
So I want y'all to respond to this before please respond to this tone when you get ready to talk.
Go ahead.
Okay, because we're all spiritual at the table. I want y'all to take me here. I want y'all to teach me something.
Okay.
God, so we're talking about, I told you before we started, Abraham and Sarah, right?
Right.
20, 30, 40-year age gap. But hold on. I'm asking you, no, this is my question though.
Right.
But I'm about to ask y'all a question.
He said you gotta use it.
I'm asking y'all a question. If God is in it, does the age gap, does it make a difference? If he sanctioned it and they're equally yoked.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer your question. I'm not even gonna let Tone get to it. I'm gonna answer your question, right? How many people go into marriage and take their vows seriously?
Hopefully all.
No, I'll answer your question when you respond to what I just asked you.
I'm answering the question. The reason I'm answering the question is, if you look at divorce, that says that nobody is truly taking your vows seriously. So how can you validate that God is in something that people are not honoring? Like, it doesn't matter about.
But that's on the people, and that's not on God, right?
But how can you qualify a statement by saying, but if God is in it? You don't know that. You will never know.
Well, those
that.
people do know. Those two people, though.
Be more specific
would you?
in the answer. Are you saying that the age difference 10 years apart? Let's just throw something out there. 10 years apart, and they say, "Hey, we about to go to the altar, and meet me in your white dress." The song, I think it was "Meet Me at the Altar" type deal.
Right.
Okay, so they go and they said because we believe God's honoring this. Is that what you're saying?
So this is what I'm saying. I believe if that man is like, because we always use our term. We're gonna use our term.
Ooh, we got a good comment.
Is a believer, right? He's a believer,
Right.
And he's praying, and God is leading him to find a wife, in which he will find a good thing,
Right.
and find
Okay.
favor with it. So I believe any man that's going that route and being led by God, he's gonna lead him to who that woman is, and it might be the same age,
No
it might be
matter
10
what.
years
You know
younger.
what? I'm gonna
No matter
argue
what
that
age.
that's
Well,
the
I'm-
exception and not the rule. I mean, I'm gonna make that jump and say that's the exception and not the rule
What's not the
because
exception?
because I do believe at the base the
terms of-
intention does matter. Like it was said before, if your intention is to go out and find that mate, and you can
know.
find commonalities, then age does become less of an issue. But in most cases, if you are an older, mature, experienced man looking for a
freak.
24-year-old
freak.
fertile physical woman,
You freaky.
the intent is not.
But I didn't even say look at, because I guess we just overlooking I said, what I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying.
I know what you're
I'm saying
saying.
if I go to him,
Right.
he's going to guide me in that direction. My intent is, I'm going to trust in you.
Right.
I'm going to trust in
But
you.
I'm saying in
That's-
most of those age
that can
gap
get kinda deep,
situations, that intent
I'll
is
just throw it
not
out
That
there.
can get
present.
kind of. The only reason why that can get kind of deep is if you're dependent, and it's just me. So that's saying it. It's my opinion. If you're waiting on God, I don't know if God's gonna say that 24-year-old over there in the slip. You know what I mean? She's gonna be the one for you. I'm just gambling with this. You know what I mean? I don't think that. I think that he's
That's
gonna.
all I'm
I don't know if that's gonna be God's will. If it's just something you want to do, and the lust took over, and you said this is God all the way. So y'all went and got married. And now listen, it was a lady, and I'm not supporting this show, but on divorce court, I think she was like she was real young, like 20. I think she was about 24. He was like in his I think he was like in his 40s. And every time they would get into the argument, she would leave the house and go stay with her girlfriends. And the premise of it is she wanted to hang out.
Lies.
Yeah, she wanted. She wanted. I know, but just drawing the scenario is that the thing is that she wanted to have fun and he wanted to grow up. He wanted her to grow up to take care of the child because the child wasn't getting fed, the diaper wasn't getting changed like it should. He had to come home and do all of that because she wanted to party. But they got married. You get what I mean? So my thing is that go ahead and read the question. But I'm just saying is you taking a chance when you jump out there. That's all.
Yeah,
you taking a chance.
You had a good one.
No, Kelly said, I agree 100%. The man is the head of the household. If he's not in a position, what can he do for me? Whether he's older or younger, I'm not here to teach any man of any rate, any age, how to be a man.
Who is that again?
This is Kelly.
Go, Kelly.
Teach
Thank
me
you
how
for your
to
comment,
love.
Guess
Kelly.
what? Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. A lot of times, if you come in with a lot of young guys, it's gonna be, if you got 3 kids, chances are you might have 4. Don't God forbid if they like video games. And they sitting in front of video game. That's all they doing is playing video games.
Please.
Can't commit to anything, but they can't commit to that video game. And now you're raising the sex might be
Another
good,
kid.
the sex might be wonderful, but is that enough to sustain
So
your
let me ask you a question, because we
relationship?
turn to it mean, do we come into a relationship, and we don't even have to use the word teach. You all can give me a word that's synonymous with teach, but when you go into a relationship, you don't automatically go into knowing how to love that person. So is there some teaching going on? I'm just asking
That is
y'all.
an overrated word.
I'm gonna be.
That's what I'm saying. It might not be teaching. I'm just asking.
Overrated.
Listen, mine is gonna be lust if I'm coming.
Because y'all don't even have, y'all like politicians, y'all don't even answer the question.
Let's say it again. Say it again.
That's
Be
the question.
specific. Be
Ask
more
you,
specific.
when you go into a relationship, do you know automatically going in how to make the other person happy, or do they have to, I guess, teach or learn? I mean, what word y'all want to use?
When you go, okay, can I get a little technical? When you say going into the relationship, are you talking post dating? So are you saying, okay, we've dated, we've gotten to know each other, we think that we're ready to take it to the next level. Now we're going to enter into a committed relationship, or are you just saying off the bat we're meeting each other and now we got to get to know each other? At what point are you talking about?
Because Callie mentioned about not having to teach anyone anything would suggest, my opposite thought would be that somebody already knows
Yeah, you should be a full-grown man, a whole man coming in this
about
relationship.
that particular woman?
But no. Think about it. The
About-
scenario was that a woman teaching a guy how to be a man. Because remember, it was
I'm with
it was
you.
a
That's what she
previous
said.
question.
About
yeah.
that. That's what she said.
I think she was kind of speaking towards that.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I'm
what
with
she
you on
said.
that.
She said
Okay.
that you should have to go. But and that's
I'm with
the
you,
thing. But
yeah.
what do you mean I'm with you? You just said that.
No, about the teaching, I mean that
Yeah, but you
specifically.
gonna
Right,
do the
'cause
same
you're talking
thing with a
about
woman.
love language. You're talking about defining love language
Right.
and what that means for the other individual. And yes, that's going to take time and understanding and communication and all
Right.
that good stuff in a relationship.
Do you think there's younger women out there who can deal in a relationship with a 50-year-old man? Do you think that there's women out there who is compatible?
25 or over, yeah.
You think
No,
that
they're
they
not
are?
compatible. They dealing because they getting something out of that relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think that there women out
Compatibility
there?
in a relationship. Like you can be compatible sexually.
Yeah.
That don't mean that y'all good for each other.
Yeah. I'm talking
Right?
about after the sex, after the sheets, the fire, all that. Y'all seen heavens and all that. And,
Okay, we got
you know,
another. Callie said it should be teaching going on both sides if you decide to go beyond dating.
and
What-
it
what-
was
Right.
Wait. What's
Depends.
beyond dating? What is beyond dating?
marriage. I guess you would say marriage.
I'm
I
just-
guess you said committed.
I'm just wondering what's beyond dating.
Yeah, in my world, you have dating where you might be dating multiple people because you're just kind of, checking out your
You're kinda-
options until you perhaps
Decide.
run into someone that you really like, and then y'all decide to be in a committed relationship.
Oh, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I honestly don't. I don't believe in boyfriend girlfriend. I don't believe in committed relationships.
I don't believe.
What do you
in
believe
that
in?
either. I don't
what do you
believe in
believe in?
boyfriend.
Tell us what you believe in.
I don't believe in that
either
either.
you married
I don't
or you
believe that
single.
either. Yeah, I believe that too.
Oh.
And so
Okay.
here's the key,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
That's true.
and here's the key, because there's no repercussions, no matter how committed your relationship is, for you walking away.
Right.
If we marry, there's something that comes along with
Right.
that.
I don't believe
right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
obligations.
Yeah.
It's entitlement to a piece of what it is that you do because we built something together. There's validation. If I die, you get this. Ain't no conversation as it relates to, like, there's things that marriage speak to that being in a committed relationship don't. So if you're not married, she's single, bro, and you just hold. She not yours.
Yeah,
It's just your
but
turn.
we still be possessive
Wow.
in those
She not
relationships.
yours. It's just your turn.
And I think that's
If you don't love her enough to marry her, then she shouldn't even
What
be
are
with
you-
you.
So I want to get this straight. Sound like what I'm hearing
am I
y'all saying.
off? I see you over
Yeah,
there.
you in another planet.
Go ahead.
No, am I?
About
She
what?
don't want to look at
About
me.
what?
No,
It's still stick to the. We
I
still
off?
sticking to the subject
Yeah.
of older and
I'm
younger.
off. Okay.
no, I'm not. I
No,
just,
tell me what you're saying. Tell me what you're, because I was wrapping this around.
I mean, I respect his viewpoint because he qualified his statement earlier by saying he's very spiritual.
Right.
So
That's right.
I can respect what you're saying
What you
in
talking
terms
about,
of
the dating?
if you're not married, you're single.
I agree with
Okay.
that statement.
It's true. That is true. It
I
is
still
true.
think
But he
there's
was saying,
levels
but
to the
you can be
game.
not married and still be committed to somebody.
I
That's
don't believe in that. I don't.
but he don't believe in that, right?
Well, okay,
But you,
so now let's look at the perspective. Even though I digress. We breaking a little apart from the subject.
Yeah, we are.
But let me say this.
So this might be another.
In that, hold on, let's say this. Now, okay, I understand the paper of marriage. Now, people can. You can look at the paperwork and say, in the legal aspect, that this is marriage. But at the same time, you have some states like California. I believe it's California. It is, what is that? Where you
Common law marriage?
common law. Where you married if you've been married for 10 years.
If you've been together
If
for
you've
10
been
years.
together for 10
Here's
years.
the thing, though.
Let me just say this.
Nobody
real-
here is speaking to it from the perspective of just being regular. We're
Right.
spiritual, right?
Yeah.
So when we take our vows, we take it before God, and we're
That's
saying,
right.
this is our bond, and we're saying this before God because it means more than just paper.
Well, let me
right?
ask you this. Is there a difference between getting married on a piece of paper and not, but I'm still doing the same thing, meaning I'm committed to this one person. We call ourselves marriage, but not legally on paper. I'm throwing this out there. No. Is there a difference?
That's a problem. And
Is there-
I can't stand I can't stand having a conversation with somebody that's trying to compare themselves to me that's in a marriage, and she talking about, oh, I'm his fiance for the last 3 years.
No, I'm saying, but they say that they're married.
I'm saying nothing to me.
Listen, I'm saying if they're saying that they're married.
You can't say you something that you're not.
Okay, now this why I'm throwing this out there.
You can say you a millionaire.
That's right.
And you can't.
No, that's
you
right.
Ain't got a million.
But
you ain't no millionaire.
But by whose standard? By whose standard is to say that you're not married? By whose standard is that? It's not biblically. It's not in the Bible.
What's not in the Bible?
That you need a contract to say that I'm married.
Yeah, but the very idea that you take a vow before God.
But what if I take a vow before God without going in front of a court? What if I'm in my house and me and my girlfriend say, "Hey, look, we're gonna be committed together forever"? Yeah. Okay. Well, let me say this. We standing before God and we're saying that we're now married. And listen, I'm gonna give you a band. I'm gonna put a band on your hand. You put on your. So I'm committed to you. You committed to me.
No, this is why. This is.
I'm throwing it out there.
No, in terms of, like you said, from a biblical perspective.
The Bible, but
the Bible does talk about adultery and fornication, right? So it does honor like marriage. So in this current dispensation and what we're living
not
in,
on a piece of paper, though.
I know that, but I'm saying in the dispensation, you know, in order for you to become one flesh and to in this society, the marital, because like you said, brother, about all the things in terms of accountability to a marriage. You need to be legally married in this society in that way. I mean, that's just something. The very
foundation of our laws is
the legalities is only that you get benefits.
No, that's not true.
No, listen what I'm saying. Well, show me where it's not. Listen what I'm saying. In terms of the legal aspect, marriage brings benefits legally. It's in you get my stuff, I get your stuff if there's a divorce. You get insurance, you get on my. But that's it. It doesn't bring it. No, I'm talking about by law, legal law. Show me where it means anything else but the benefits of what carries these tax incentives or whatever else. Well, what is the other difference?
The foundation of our laws is built on the church.
No,
it's not. And it's why and laws
now,
evolve.
Spiritually, it's not.
Wait. Laws evolve over time, but the foundation of our laws was established by the church.
Yeah.
It's the reason why.
What church? The Catholic Church?
No. Okay, listen.
It have to be the Catholic Church.
I'll break it down for you. The reason why it was illegal to sleep with another man's wife is based off of biblical scripture.
What? No.
Yes, it was. The reason why it was illegal to sleep with somebody else's wife. It used to be illegal. It used to be illegal to sleep with somebody else's wife. It's all biblically structured.
But guess what? You talking Old Testament, and in
no,
that,
I'm not.
hold on, in that you talking Judeo law. So listen to what I'm saying. That's not the land of the law today, because you do have people who can be considered married if they've been together for so many years.
I said it has evolved.
Common law, right?
Laws are continuing to be created.
But that was based on Judeo. Remember
I said
now,
the foundation.
No, listen what I'm saying. Remember now, anything that deals with the Bible, even to Old Testament.
And I don't want us to get off subject.
Because we are going way off subject.
I gotta say this. Anything that deals in the Old Testament would deal with the history of the Jewish people. So it would be specifically talking to those people. I'm saying,
and I can I can dive into that, right?
No,
this is not. We're gonna have to do that on another podcast.
Yeah.
We'll do that on another podcast.
No, that's fine. I guess what I'm saying is that so we won't digress from the conversation. Is what I'm saying is that I just believe that it's manipulation on both ends. When you're dating someone 10 years, whatever it is, younger than you, it's not
Let's
just
20,
that.
20.
It's manipulation all the way up.
I agree 100% on that.
I believe that.
I don't think. Go ahead. RW. I don't think he agreed.
I think RW does agree. I think.
I was thinking about what's the name of that thing you get when you make coffee and tea? Keurig. What is that?
He just said his daughter. He just said his daughter can't date nobody.
Right, he did.
Yeah. So
I said she happy. She happy.
You said you proclaimed hypocrite.
You changing it up now.
Listen.
Hold on. You know what? Please show me the rule in either law or Bible where as your perspective change, how could, people can't change their mind?
Okay.
Oh,
Or anything.
no, you ain't changing.
He said whatever comes out your mouth is in your heart. Whatever comes out of your mouth is in your heart.
That's right.
You're saying that you're cool with your daughter. You raised her, you groomed her to be whatever it is that you groomed her. You put in her foundation as far as her moral compass and all of this other stuff. And then this 60-year-old man come and be like, what's up? And you cool with that.
Be quiet.
You cool with that?
He already said he was the first time.
Is my baby happy?
So the only thing that matters
You cool
after
with
you
that.
groom her to be what you feel like is the best version of herself, the only thing that matters after that is her happiness. Is that
If
what
that's the
you're saying?
version of herself and she's happy in it,
Now ask me that question.
I know that's your.
You may say, but
Ooh,
I'm sure
ask
you're gonna
Antonio
have a
that
deep
question.
conversation, like
Ask me that conversation.
like Tone, like you said.
I mean, Tone, if he
was
in a
gonna-
whole nother level.
Well,
with
he
this.
said
come
he
over
talked
my
about the
house,
Jewish
you got
guy.
another
He's
thing.
gonna have a strong
And you better not be older than
conversation.
me.
Tone,
We-
they ain't come over your,
we-
hey,
wait, wait,
they ain't gonna come over your house.
because happiness
They
is
gonna meet out
overrated.
somewhere. They ain't gonna come to the
Happiness is
house.
overrated.
No, they don't have to come to the house.
It's overrated.
They gonna come to the
We do stuff
put you
that
in
we're
the
not
head.
happy about doing every day, but we do
Right.
it because it makes us a responsible adult.
Correct.
I'm gonna crack you in your head. You come on my house. Look, you come on my house. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the headlock. Everything. We're gonna be
right
fighting
off
up
the
in
bat.
there. We fight in the house. Look, yeah,
And I would
right
have some
now.
questions if my son, I mean, I have a long way for that to happen, but if my son came home with a woman 20 years his senior, I guess that's how you say it, I mean, I would have some serious questions.
Yeah, you go.
I would have some serious questions.
Okay, then you get the answers and keep
it's
it
to
moving.
each his own. We're not saying that everybody has a right to their own opinion.
Yeah.
100%.
Until you leave this earth. You know what I mean? So
Oh, we got a good-
Oh, we got a good one. Give it to us.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Callie said exactly. She said there are benefits legally, but there are marriages that are no heavenly or earthly good.
That's right.
Because the covenant is not being honored. There are marriages in the spirit that are more married in the spirit, and the natural marriage nowadays
That's
has
what I believe.
become a fad,
Yeah.
a trend for people.
And you brought that on with fire.
But listen to
Else
this.
Callie?
The Bible does say honor. You do have to honor the government. You know what I mean? In natural sense. So
follow the laws
from
of
that
the land.
perspective, yeah, you'll be doing the right thing if you believe in the Bible. More so, that's more so New Testament. That's not even Old Testament.
But
It's New
Tom,
Testament.
let me just say this real quick. I don't evaluate my standards based off of everybody else doing stuff wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because he over there being trash in
Right.
his marriage,
Right.
don't mean that the standards of marriage has decreased. I'm still holding myself to this specific standard.
Right.
I'm not lowering it based off of what everybody else is doing.
And that's right. That's right. That's right.
And
It's-
that's why that's where we disagree as
Yeah.
far as her that comment.
Yeah.
Like my standards is different from what other people are saying is a standard.
No, and that's true. It's just that's a conversation that gets so deep, and the politics of it. The politics of that conversation about what the land of the law is compared to what biblical meanings are. It
I'm
can
not
go.
even talking about it from that perspective.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about it like everybody has some level of a moral compass.
That's right.
And that moral compass evolves based off of your experiences.
Right.
It evolves based off of the people that you've seen do certain things.
Right.
If you was raised in a household and the daddy was always cheating on the mama, probably there's a strong, opportunity there that there's going to be some issues possibly in the relationship based off of what you've seen and how you seen your daddy treat your mother.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't raised in an environment where men get divorced.
Right.
My dad didn't get divorced from my mother. My uncles don't get divorced from their wives. Like,
Right.
I was raised in an environment where marriage means there is no plan B. Plan A.
Right.
Plan B is to finish plan A.
And that's a good plan.
Yeah.
You make it work.
I don't even have the conversation
Yeah.
to say, if I get divorced, this is what I would do.
That's right.
My conversation is, I'm never getting divorced.
That's right.
I have to make this work.
And I made that commitment when I got married with my wife. Divorce
saying?
wasn't an answer. You get into whatever you get in, but you still have to stand strong in your relationship. And I think you punking out when you do that. You know what I mean? And that's just my perspective. But you just staying in that area of, I guess we all all agree. I guess we all wavering in the area where, you know, it's cool to date younger guys. It's cool to date younger girls. They doing it. I mean, it happens today. There's nothing we can do about it. But we just saying that chances are, just check your partner out. If that's someone that you are willing to do it, whether it's a younger guy, younger girl, check their status out. See, have they grown to your status or to where you are to bring in everything. Because if not, you're gonna have problems.
And she married this guy, right?
So this she married this guy.
But I'm gonna be honest. It seemed like there is some issues with her, or maybe she's seen some trust issues in him.
That's the bottom line.
Kind of like, and now because y'all know how y'all is. Some women, my wife. I mean, some women can be where if they see that man. And they see that man and they see society at the pressure of how women should dress, they start to try to want to conform to that. Oh, well, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do this.
Or maybe
so
I should get a long wig
looking good. You know what I mean? And maybe she's falling into that area because she's seeing what he's at. Now, I'm gonna say this.
And maybe he's exhibiting behaviors to contribute to her insecurity as well.
That's right. Exactly. So maybe it's that you got the wrong guy.
Right.
Maybe he could be that guy that's hanging out. He wants something else now, and you didn't. You probably seen the sign. They probably been there. So for me,
but now you're just seeing them.
Well, they're married, so they got to work something out.
That's a game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's a game of Russian roulette to me.
Or divorce.
Yeah, it's Russian roulette. If we don't have anything in common, it's
somebody told me
sex can't always be.
Somebody told me opposite attract. That's what I heard.
It does.
They do attract.
Opposites
do they keep people together?
Sex. It can. It has. It hasn't been proven that it don't.
Oh, we'll talk about it next week. I got plenty of proof. I got plenty of proof.
I got proof. Me and my wife had different agendas.
What I mean opposite attract. But I don't think opposite keep it together. Meaning working. Meaning we're not hitting each other and cheating.
Huh?
We're not cheating and hitting each other.
Okay.
I'm not talking. That's not what opposite. I'm talking about Democrat, Republican. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm talking relationally.
No, I'm talking about when they use the word opposites to attract, it doesn't mean in terms of behavior, in terms of I'm a cheater and you not a cheater. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as in the things that we view life in terms of like, again, perfect example.
Guys, we're going to have to wrap this up for another.
Oh, it's about to take. But some people are Republicans, some people may be Democrat, but they still get married. Now, those viewpoints are going to be, sideways. It's going to be crazy. But that don't mean that they don't love each other. That don't mean, so that's an opposite. So I guess it depends on what do you mean when you say opposite. That's too broad.
But Tom, I don't believe that love is enough.
What do you mean when you say love?
I don't think that love is, that's a whole, I'm just gonna say because you said that they don't love each other. It's not enough to just love.
What I say.
So you mean there has to be some like discipline or some?
No, there has to be
love
more
is the
that
start.
keeps that relationship.
Love got to be the start.
It does not have to be the start.
Well, to me, in a perfect relationship, it has to be love. Now, let's define love. Because I know we got to go.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to say this though.
701 now. 701. We got a daughter, you know.
Okay, yeah. Love is defined to me as action. It's what you're doing. So it's not romance. Love is not based on romance. It's defined. It's an action. See what I mean? So that can go so deep down. What do you mean? So to me, to know that you love me is that you show those signs by what you do, even emotionally, but what you do for me financially, what you do for me in a caring way. So that goes down a deeper road. So the word love is just abroad. Define the word, and then that's what we'll know.
Yeah, so this is going to have to be we can have this on as a second topic.
I think we should bring this back.
Yeah. Love is enough.
Most definitely.
I think it is. The Bible says
now that we found love, what are we going to do?
That's his philosophy.
All right, y'all.
He's telling that 25-year-old that.
Have a good
what
week,
love
everybody.
got to do with it? What love got to do?
Hey guys, listen, don't end it yet. I hope you haven't ended it, producer. But listen, I gotta end it like this. Listen, be safe, whatever it is.
Yes.
Love one another, care for one another.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, we appreciate
Thank
your
you for your
comments.
comments.
Listen,
Keep them coming.
continue to share this, like this. We will be back with interesting conversations.
That's right.
And guys, listen, we love you and be safe.
Be safe.
3 strikes, I'm out.